Welcome to Vital Signs. We are here to bring all of the leading edge news, technology, what's happening in anything medical and wellness, from our physical body to our mental health, our emotional health, our financial health. We are here to serve you. Remember, anything you hear on today's show is not a substitute for medical advice. You always want to make sure you consult with your medical practitioners. And today, we have a very special guest, and we're going to talk about financial health and well-being, financial fitness, because finances, if we don't have them in order, can present a whole wealth of stress into our life. So we want to address that. And I want you to remember that anything you hear on this show is not advice for you personally. Make sure that you consult with your financial professionals or have a conversation with our guest today. Without further ado, I am going to introduce you to the money problem solver, Bill Bloom. Welcome to the studio.
Oh, Jen, it's such a treat to be here, to be with your incredible audience. So I'm really grateful to share some time with everyone today.
Absolutely. So, Bill, financial health and well-being is a big part of our overall health. How is it that you got into this arena? Because I know one of the things that you really are passionate about is getting families out of debt.
Yeah. Well, I grew up completely in like a super loving household, but my family could never figure out how to make a dollar work. They were always in debt, and it was always a problem. So my parents would fight about it. There would be issues. And at the end of the day, I kind of selfishly didn't ever want to be in that same situation. So that's why I figured out, how I could become educated on money and how to help people. So it's just really turned into my big life passion to help people get out of debt and really live a better life.
And so talk to me a little bit about what you see, because you deal with people who are in debt day in and day out. That is part of your passion. You help them to really climb out of that and to have that sort of financial freedom. Talk to me about how that impacts their stress and the rest of their life when families are in debt or individuals are in debt and they can't see that solution for themselves.
It's really hard because you can't get out of debt unless you know you have the problem. It's either a habitual problem where every day you're spending money, you don't know where it's going. That's really the biggest issue that I've seen. Or you don't have a goal. You don't have something to reach for. You should really always be having something to shoot for, because that way you have a target, you have something to go after. But if you don't know where to start, that's the biggest problem I've seen over the past 15 years of helping people with their money.
So talk to me a little bit about that. Say I'm in that situation, I've got the stack of credit cards, which I have seen before, and I'm just feeling that weight and I'm having a hard time keeping up with my payments. How do I know what's that best first step?
So when I started my financial career in 2008, I had over $54,000 of student loans. So I had to figure out, how can I get rid of debt? And I did that in 3 years. So I'm going to give you what I did, and this is like the formula for one of the companies that I have, is you take the highest amount of debt first. You have to write everything down and really compartmentalize where you're at. It sounds simple, right? Nobody does it. So we do it for you. We help you with that. But you want to understand the highest amount of debt that you're in, and it's usually a personal loan or credit cards. Then work your way down. Credit cards, student loans, auto loans, mortgages, that's usually the range that we see. And we really want to start attacking that higher debt first, because it's really hard to make 30% interest on your money, but all that debt's racking up daily, so it's hard to get out of that. You want to attack that debt first.
Yeah, and I want to just point something out, because a lot of people don't recognize this. We're not taught this in school anymore. And I know, because I had to educate my own child on this as well, and I had to educate myself largely. I was very fortunate. My parents were financially savvy. My dad is a CPA, and my mom, was in the financial advising space. So they encouraged me at a very young age to do this. But I watched my friends when I went to college not have any clue about anything to do with money. And if you're only making minimum payments, the principal balance on a credit card never goes away.
It never goes away.
It just keeps going up. So how frustrating, and that could seem almost like a hopelessness. You're pushing a boulder up a mountain, and the boulder's pushing you right back down twice as hard as what your force is. And so what is one thing that we can talk to our kids about, if you will, or the people around us so that we can start having open money conversations?
I think with kids, you have to start with investing first and saving first and giving first. I mean, those three things in tandem, if you take $1, you could literally take 100 jelly beans or 100, something healthy. But you could really show them, here's your dollar, there's 100 pieces of whatever you want to use. Here's 10% towards charity. Here's 10% towards savings. You have to create house rules, and you have to abide by them. And that's the trouble. Parents don't do it. Just don't do it. So how are you going to do it for your kids? So it's sort of like a practice what you preach. So I tell parents all the time, start early and show that you can actually teach these kids how to save just by using toys or food. And it's a really simple process, and they get it like that.
It's really funny that you say that because I have grandchildren now. And I'm watching them, and my grandchildren, I'm the grandmother, so we want to spoil our grandbabies. But one of the things that my grandson, he just turned 9, he has started to ask for is money.
Ooh.
And so now that he's starting to ask for money, I'm like, okay, well, Gigi gives you money every month into your bank account so that your savings account can grow. And once it gets to a certain point, we're going to put it into an investment that will grow even faster. And so we're starting to have those conversations, but it came from him asking, he's like, don't buy me toys, just give me money. Well, why do you want money? So that I can choose where I want it to go. And so I've started that conversation as well after, of course, consulting with my daughter.
Yes.
So how are some other ways that we can creatively bring this into the conversation with our children if they start to express an interest in that particular aspect?
I think it comes down to giving kids responsibilities. And it's not about, do your chores, do the dishes, and pay them for those things. It's like really empowering them to take initiative to make sure their rooms are clean, make sure that they're taking care of things, putting their shoes away. We have a 2- and 4-year-old, so we're in the midst of all of this. It's not easy. But our son, whenever he reads a book, he asks me for coins. So we have a jar full of our travel coins, like all the change from like Europe and Argentina, where my wife's from. So we give him a coin every time he reads a book. So it's not like having chores, but it's like a gig. It's like a job almost, where you're empowering them to want to work for things, because at the end of the day, you have to work. You have to earn everything you have. So empowering them early and teaching them how to do that, I think that's a game changer.
And so if we can start those money conversations around the table earlier, and we can start opening that door, it'll allow us to have better conversations with people such as yourself. So now let's fast forward to the adult who's in this debt situation we can't see, and you say, I need you to classify my debt. And that in and of itself is overwhelming. If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I can't keep up. Every time I pay a credit card off, all of a sudden another one takes its place because I don't have an emergency fund. How do we break that barrier and have people comfortable reaching out to people such as yourself?
Well, we've created this technology called Diane Money, where it actually compartmentalizes all of your bad debt for you. So it's going to show you all of your credit cards, all of your student loans, and it's going to show your interest rates and your monthly payments. Now here's the game changer. We're going to actually show you, if you pay an extra $50 a month, how much interest that's going to save, or $1,000 a month if you have a lot of debt. It's going to show you immediately how much money is going to be in your pocket by paying things down faster. So you have to have a roadmap, and then we're going to guide you by saying you should focus on this debt first, which is probably your credit card debt, and then really take action. You have to pay that off first. But here's the key. I want to stress this. After you pay that off, put the credit card away. Stop using it, because if it's a problem, that's the name of the game. Put the credit card away.
Absolutely. So what I just heard is you have revolutionary technology. You have an application that literally will take everything, classify it to tell you when you have extra money, where to put it so that you keep more dollars in your pocket today. And maybe those more dollars can build your emergency fund so that you can put that credit card away once it is paid off. We do have to take a brief break, but before we do, Bill, how can people reach out to you if they're interested in learning more about this awesome app, or getting in touch with you and learning more about getting out of debt?
Well, it's really simple. It's Bill at Diane Money, and you can go to the Diane Money website. It's DIANE money.com, and you'll find everything right there. And there's a lot of tools there and insights to help you really understand how money works, and we have a great tutorial section as well.
Fantastic. So I'm a coach by trade and nature, and I want everyone to take action. And I think the best action right now to start thinking about and to do today is to look at where is my money, where is it going, what are those balances, so I can have an awareness of where I stand in a snapshot of today. We will be right back after these messages. See you soon.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Vital Signs. We are here in studio with Bill Bloom, who is your money problem solver. Why? because financial health is a critical piece of our overall health and well-being. If we don't have financial health, it adds stress to our life, which could contribute to other lifestyle issues and disease. And so we left before the break talking about having an awareness of where our financial snapshot is. Where are our debts? What do we have in savings? What does our financial life look like today, so that we know where we're starting and what makes the most sense? And so, Bill, I want to back up. We talked a little bit about why you were passionate about this, but what I didn't hear, and I know that you and I talked about this in the break, you have a very personal experience with this financial stressor situation and the toll that it plays on someone's health. Can you share that?
Yeah, I would be happy to. I mean, it really relates to my childhood and the issues my parents had with money. But it took my mom's life. The stress of this caused her to get cancer, and she really fought hard for 3 years. But I know that all of the stress and the turmoil over 20, 30 years, all that adds up and that compounds. And if you don't get rid of like the bad debt, all of that compounds as well. Stress does the same thing. So from a wellness perspective, I really like helping people focus on their longevity and their life and their purpose. And if you have a purpose for your money and goals to reach after, that's where you're going to find a lot of solidarity in your life.
I'm going to say something that sometimes is controversial, and some people believe that money is the root of all evil, and so they get rid of it as soon as they have it. And other people feel that it's somehow bad if they are able to get to that financial independence. How do we overcome some of those limiting beliefs, and in order to actually set ourselves up for success so that our financial health and well-being is on track, and as a result, our overall health asset?
Yeah, it's that scarcity versus abundance mindset. You really have to think, I can get out of debt. And that's the first step. You have to choose. I mean, you have life events. That's when people usually make their changes to their money. Someone, either gets sick or a job changes or whatever the case may be. But if you really have the mindset where you can get out of bad debt or save $1 million or $10 million, all of it's possible. You just have to have the right mindset and understand, I want this. This is something I want to work for. And that's really the first step for all of this, is just having a direction to go. And that's why the goals are so important.
And talk to me a little bit about, okay, everybody wants to have $1 million who does not have one already.
That's like the life goal, right? I want $1 million.
That used to be my life goal, like once upon a time. But once you get to that goal, there's no fulfillment.
Right.
I didn't even realize, as I was getting out in my adult life, where I was when I was there. I don't pay attention to that because money is not a motivator for me. And so for those people, maybe their goal is to have $100,000 saved for emergency fund, and then they get there, they don't feel the same fulfillment that you feel with some other goals. So how do we overcome that hurdle?
The hurdle is the person you become during the journey. I just love this. When you get to the $1 million, it's about who you become, because your habits have changed. All the things you're doing have changed. You're not buying things you don't need anymore. You're spending in the right places. You're investing in the right places. Because you have to think really as money as energy, and you want to have good energy for this. So if someone was scarce growing up, or if your parents said money is the root of all evil, it's not the truth. It's just energy, and it has to have a direction for your life. And once you get to that $1 million or $5 million or $10 million, you're going to be able to do so much more with that and help other people with that money. And that's the blessings that come from it. I mean, you get so much more satisfaction helping people and giving it to people than it is actually having it in your bank account. So it's really a purpose-driven vehicle.
And really, having it in your bank account really doesn't do much anyway. Well, right now we're earning a little bit of interest.
It's not bad today. It's really not bad.
It's a lot
today.
better than it was for the last several.
Amen.
So as we set these goals, it may feel like, okay, I need to do all of these things in order to have financial fitness. How do we keep that from being overwhelming to us as we get started? Like, say we get your app, we look at it, and we go, holy cow, that's a lot of debt. Or there's no way, this is insurmountable. How do we make that shift?
Love that question. We're going to show you what to tackle first and where to put your effort into, which account to pay off first. So you're going to have that guidance because it's all math-based. We do all the math for you so that you don't have to guess and stress anymore. It's going to literally give you the roadmap on how to get rid of your bad debt as quickly as possible. and really just allow you to breathe again and slow down, enjoy life, enjoy your families, and enjoy the things you want to do. Because here's what I want you to think about. Once you get rid of the debt, what can you do with that money? What's going to be your driver? Is it, I want to go on 2 vacations a year now because I don't have to feel guilty spending the money, or I just want to start putting money away for my future. All these things can happen for you. Just let's tackle one thing at a time and focus on one thing. You can't do 20 things at once. You can't focus on 20 things with your money as well.
And I know that this is not financial advice. Please stick with your financial advisor, or if you need one, Bill is a resource for you. But if we're in debt and we want to also build savings, should we do one before the other, or does it make sense to hit both?
Yes, so you want to tackle that terrible credit card debt first, and then once you pay off your first credit card, then start to trickle money into a savings account. So then you do both. So you really pay down your debt, but also once money is freed up, you start putting money into savings, and then you start investing. So you have different avenues for your money to go, and just like when you were spending the money first before, you're going to stop doing this. Then you want to automate everything on the back end, and you could work with your financial advisor or hire a financial advisor to help you with this. So that way you don't get back into that predicament again.
Because it's a cycle. I've seen it a lot. A lot of times we get out and then we have this life experience, and all of a sudden we're right back where we started. It can be very frustrating, and it can put a lot of stress and strain on our relationships, our families, ourselves, our health. And so if you were to give people one thing that they could do today that could move them forward in their financial health and well-being, what would it be?
Think of you being 100 years old. Like wellness, you're healthy, you're 100 years old, and you're still able to get around and do the things you love doing with your family. Don't you want money to do, those things with? Like, you have to think of your future self and have a bigger and better future. So think of the future generations that you could really help just by you not spending money on things you probably don't need, and allowing yourself to have a bigger vision for your, not only yourself but your family.
It's really funny you say spending on things you don't need, and I'm not picking on all the people who, I'm a coffee drinker too. I love coffee. I grew up on coffee. I'm from New Orleans. I mean, we drank coffee all day until noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then again before bed. But a cup of coffee at a local chain is $7, $8. If you're doing that every day, that compounds. You could literally pay cash for a car at the end of a year with the money that you've saved, instead of going and getting an auto loan, which right now is kind of high interest for what
Super
it is.
High.
And so, it literally is a habit change, and we talk about habit change a lot on this, but we can't change a habit if we're not aware of a habit.
Precisely.
And so your app, the Diane Money app, helps us to get that awareness so that we see exactly what we're doing, where we're spending, and where we can free that up and pay down our debt, correct?
That's so true. So Mint was such an incredible company that was able to compartmentalize where you're spending your money. So they're done now, unfortunately. I know so many people who use that product, and it was great. I've used it before when I first started my financial journey. But so what we do is we show you all of your transactions, whichever bank account you securely link at that point in time. And then we show you where you could find extra money to pay off your debt. So we kind of fine-tooth comb all of the spending. But everybody does it. I do it, you do it, we all do it. We're all guilty of it. But if it's not helping your purpose, those little things, they may need to change. And it may be painful for a week or two, but then you start a new habit, and then you're on the path to success. Like, that one little thing could change everything. So you have to start.
It absolutely does. So I love to ask my guests for a resource, either a book or a podcast or something that has helped you along your financial health journey. Is there anything you'd like to share with the audience?
So Lifespan by David Sinclair. It's my favorite book. I've given out a ton of copies of that. That's all about talking how you can live longer and be healthier and what to do that, because he's like the leading person in that field. So that's the biggest one that I would recommend, is Lifespan by Dr. David Sinclair.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And Bill, for our audiences who are listening and may want to learn more about Diane Money, about the app that you were sharing, that is super simple. It kind of takes all the stress away and tells us exactly what we can do to get to our goals. How can they reach out to you?
Yes, I would go to DianeMoney.com. It's DIANE money.com. sign up for the service, try it, see if it's actually helping you. That's the first step. You need someone or something, and the technology is a great tool to help you get out of your bad debt. And I just want to really applaud you for taking action and having a bigger and better future, because I want people to not have as much stress, live better lives, live healthier lives. You know, that's the whole purpose of this show. So we're going to make that happen for people.
And I'd like for you to share with the audience, what is your mission?
Oh, my mission is to help eliminate $1 trillion. Yeah, so that's with a T, not a B, worth of personal consumer debt here in America, because it's becoming a terrible thing. I mean, there's over $1 trillion of credit card debt, just credit card debt. So this product is definitely needed, and I'm just excited to see how it's going to help people, and I can't wait to hear the stories. That's the best part.
Thank you so much for your expertise and for joining me here today.
It's an honor. I'm super grateful to be here and to share the stage with you for all your great guests.
Thank you. And we will be back after these messages.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Vital Signs. We are going to switch gears, but before we do, if you're just tuning in, you're going to want to go to nowmedia.tv, click on shows, go to Vital Signs and catch the first half of this show because we have been dropping pure gold. We've been talking about all kinds of amazing things in our health and well-being from a financial standpoint, and now we're going to shift to speak with our next guest, Holly Moini. Holly is a financial executive. She's a mover and a shaker, and she's very passionate about health. In fact, she has a health-oriented podcast and has had really illustrious guests on, and she is here to share all kinds of amazingness. Welcome to the studio, Holly.
Thank you for having me here, Jen. I'm so happy to be a part of Vital Signs.
So the 7 key indicators of health.
Yes, and so I was doing my podcast, and we had a doctor on our podcast, and they said, let's break it down into seven ways to do that. And you know, I hadn't thought about it before like that, and it really has changed my life. And so let's go through them, and there's 7, and let's hope I remember all 7. Okay, so and the first one I remember because it's mental state. Like, how clear are you mentally? And from a score of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, like, what does that look like for you? And so brain fog, these types of things. Since menopause, I think I can say that, since menopause, things got a little foggier. I'm like, okay, but that's not normal. We should have a clear mental. And so that's the first thing. Sleep is the next one. So 1 to 10. So are you doing this, Jen? Are we doing this together?
We can do this together. So like a scale of 1 to 10, are we talking about quality sleep? Are we talking about quantity of sleep? All the above?
All the above. So like the 1 would be closer to I wake up all the time, and I wake up and I can't go back to sleep, to I get up in the morning and I'm refreshed and ready to go without an alarm.
Oh, okay. So 10 out of 10 for sleep is I'm jumping out of bed, I'm energized, I can get through my day, I've got no trouble.
100%.
Okay. And 1 is maybe I only got 3 hours of sleep, and by the way, I wasn't fully asleep for all that, and I feel like total nonsense.
That's right. And so 1 to 10 on that, and then we can shift to the body. And so, do you feel strong? Or not? You feel flabby, or you don't? And it's not about weight. Okay, everybody gets confused about that. It's like, how do you feel in your body? And that's, you know, do you feel strong? Can you lift? I always say, this is my biggest thing. Like, can I lift that suitcase above to the bin? You know how uncomfortable and struggling that is, you know. And when you pack too much shoes.
Some of us are a little bit vertically challenged, and so what about if we're like on our tippy toes? Like, does that?
It's okay as long as we feel strong enough. We can hoist it up there. I told my trainer that, I said, and I changed. That's one of the things I did. I did this test. I was like, I'm going to change some things. I said, I don't care how much I lift. I said, I just want to use my pinky and throw that suitcase up there. So,
well, you must have the strongest pinky on the face of the planet.
I haven't been able to do that yet. Okay, so the next thing is the body, or with the body is nutrition. And so from a 1 is, you know, I eat out a lot. It's the standard American diet. To I eat clean and healthy, and I don't overuse alcohol or any of those things, and so it's a 1 to 10.
So how, if we are going to judge this, like, I travel extensively. So for my viewers and listeners who travel extensively, and we don't really have a choice but to eat out.
Right.
How does that play into things? Is it, well, am I making the right choices? What kind of choices should I be making? How do we assess that truly on this 1 to 10 scale? If it's our lifestyle or because of our job or whatnot, we're always on the road.
That's a really good question. I do think you have to do like the 80-20 rule, right? 80% we eat clean. Now, if you're traveling a lot during that 80%, what you do is ask for what you want. So when I go to a restaurant and I'm being clean, I will ask for what I want. I will not take some for me, it wouldn't be like potatoes or something like that. I'm like, yeah, skip that, but give me extra vegetables and ask for what you want. And try to be as good as you can. I mean, I tend to have a little bit of alcohol when I'm traveling, but I tend to back off when I'm at home. So like I'm careful about that. I think that you can feel when you're not eating right, you know.
So really, it's more about how we're feeling about what we're eating
Yes.
as opposed to what we're actually putting in our body. It's
Yes.
do I feel light? Do I feel energized? Do I
Yes.
feel like I'm my healthiest self as
Yes.
opposed to a number on a scale? Or,
Right, absolutely, 100%. And then the next one, this one changed my life, gut health. So that was my lowest score. And so I made a commitment. I did a pinky swear with the doctor that I would work on whatever was the lowest. And gut health was the lowest. So I've always struggled with that. And it was like, okay, well, one is you're always struggling. You're either when you travel, I mean, it's nonsense. Okay, things happen. Things don't happen. Okay, let's say that.
When things don't happen the way
That's
they're
a bad
supposed to.
thing. Okay, that would be a 1. Okay, and to 10. And I started that journey. And what happened is it revealed other things that I was missing in my health. So I think if you go down this journey, everybody's different. And you can miss other things. So for example, after I was working on my gut health, I found out that I don't methylate B vitamins. And so I had some gene mutation I had no idea I had. And so now I feel healthier because I'm getting my B vitamins now, and it's fixable, you know. And so you don't know unless you go on the journey. So I committed to that. So gut health is what put me over. Which one's worse for you right now? What's the lowest right now for you?
Oh, well, so far,
Sleep?
No, my sleep is on point.
Okay, I love that.
So I'm gonna be real. Like, sleep was my poorest aspect. I only need 3 hours of sleep until I hit like 42, 43 years of age. Then all of a sudden, I couldn't get by with 3 hours of sleep anymore. So if that's you and you're like, well, I just don't have time for this, or I have a busy lifestyle, I travel a lot, but like for my entire life, 3 hours of sleep was all I really got. And then I woke up, I was wide awake, I had all the energy and I felt great. But then something happened in my 40s. I want to say it was like 42, 43. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh gosh, I need 5 or 6 hours. And so I got into this habit, and I had a concussion last year. And that really forced me to dial in my sleep. So I've got, you know, at home, I've got the sleep bed. I use technology. I use free pulse EMF and some
Like
other
the Beamer
things.
mat? Is
Yes,
that
I
what
use
that
the
is?
Beamer
Yeah.
mat. And so I do all of these things. I have a strong night routine and brain dump. And so now I am literally sleeping, like I sleep an average of 6 hours and like between 6 and 10 minutes.
Wow.
And I wake up and I'm energized and I've got everything that I need for the day. And I know before you hear, well, we're supposed to get between 7 and 9. Well, all of us are a little bit different. And so what I'm hearing in your scale is it's about how are we functioning
100%.
and not putting ourselves in adrenal fatigue or any of these other things. So sleep used to be my worst one, and I've made it my best one. I would have to say, as far as what we've discussed already, mental clarity is pretty good, but for me, it's probably the nutrition side of things, just because of the extensive travel. And some of the places that I travel, I don't have great choices. So I really want to highlight this because I know this is a common thing for people who are watching and listening. Like, when we go, we don't have to order off the menu.
Right.
I have learned that I call the restaurant and I say, can I make adaptations to the menu? And if the answer is no, then I don't eat there. And so I literally will say, listen, I do not want this cooked with any sauce. I don't want any dressing on my side. I just want the vegetables in this manner and put this, like whatever I want on the side. And that way I have more control. We don't have full control of anything when we're eating out. We don't know if there's soy. I have an allergy to soy.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's soy involved in any of the things, but I can do as much as possible to learn and mitigate. And so that's where I'm kind of using my voice a lot more, because I thought, oh, that was horrible. I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reality is we can't get our health back.
No, and you know, I didn't tell you this, but what I do, it sounds really nerdy, but it's true. I actually pack snacks. And so I will cut up vegetables, and I love watermelon radishes. They're beautiful. If you have never tried one, you should try one. They're beautiful and they're yummy. And I would slice everything up. Watermelon radishes, peppers, I stuff them in bags and take them on the plane with me. Or and they're not the healthiest, but it's good in a pinch, is like a meat stick of some sort, you know. So I pack a bunch of stuff so I have it just in case. And because you're right, you don't have choices. And I learned much like you, I just learned that I have a dairy allergy. And I'm like, okay, dairy's on everything. I don't think you think about it, but like, it's an important thing to not have things that you're allergic to, because your inflammation goes up and everything gets out of whack. But everybody's different, even on sleep. I learned after leaving my corporate job and starting my own job, I had a little bit of time in between, and I learned I need 8 hours. So I'm not the Energizer Bunny like you, but like, that's okay. You're different. And mine is 8 hours. Now, I used to sleep only 4 hours because I only had time with the family and, you know, juggling all that stuff. And I ruined my thyroid. My thyroid doesn't work. And so like, I know that it's really important to listen to your body and really understand its signals, because it's always talking to you. It's always telling you things, and we have to listen.
And you know, we are that expert in our own bodies. It's almost like we're all individuals. There's biodiversity. We understand this, and if you're listening to this and you're like, wow, like I scored myself a 2 out of 10 on mental because I have brain fog all the time. Well, we want to dig into that. Why do I have brain fog? Is it because I'm not eating well? Is it because I'm not sleeping? Because all of these things have an impact. And if you're hearing this, we are not giving medical advice on the show as per always, but what we are doing is saying, get curious. And so I have an action step for you based off of what Holly said before we break for commercial, and we will continue on with the rest of the 7. She hit nutrition, she hit strength, how we feel in our body, sleep, mental, our mental focus, and our gut health. Rated on a scale of 1 to 10 right now, where are you? Are you 10 out of 10 and perfectly in tune with your body and everything's operating great, or are we missing the mark? And whatever that lowest score is, make a commitment to yourself to improve on that one thing. Maybe it's we're not getting off the couch, and the easiest thing to do for our strength is to get up and move a little. It doesn't have to be formal exercise. It could be walking around the block if we're sedentary. But choose that one thing that you score the lowest on and make a commitment today to take an action to make that better. We do have to take a brief break, but we will be right back after these messages. Okay.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, maturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now. Operators are standing by.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Vital Signs. We have been talking right before the break with Holly Moini, and we were talking about the 7 kind of assessments, the 7 areas of life, and how to know and get a kind of ballpark figure of where we are. Before the break, we talked about 5 of those. We talked about our mental state. Do we have brain fog? How are we showing up? Do we have clarity? We talked about how do we feel in our body? Do we feel strong? Are we eating nutritionally? Are we sound? Are we eating properly? We talked about sleep as the foundation of health, and we talked about gut health. So, Holly, I'm going to turn it immediately over to you because there's 2 more.
Thank you. 7. Thank you, Jen. You remembered. You have mental clarity. That's awesome. Well, the one that you may not think about is your relationships. And so from 1 to 10, from 1 being I don't feel connected, I don't have good friendships, I don't have people that I can rely on, to 10 that you feel fully supported. This includes your marriage if you're married. And so all of it, like I feel fully supported, I feel good, I feel connected as a human in my community. So that's 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest.
And so some of us have a lot of interactions with other people, but we maybe still feel isolated. I mean, I'm going to speak as an entrepreneur. A lot of times entrepreneurship feels very lonely, and it feels like while I have all these people I can go to for certain aspects, there's some aspects of my life that maybe I don't have that go-to person that I could just talk about anything with.
That's right.
So if we have some areas met, like our personal life, or some areas but not others, like where would that fall on that spectrum?
Well, I really think that this is a real issue. You'd probably be in the middle and need to work on it maybe if it's your lowest. Because when we're looking at mental illness and people that are having issues right now, a lot of it gets down to not feeling supported and not having relationships. And so I would, if it's a mixed bag for you, it'd be right down the middle. But I think a lot of people are on the low scale, and that's sad. It's like, how do you fix that? You know, that's a hard thing to fix and not an easy, just flip a switch tomorrow. But it is something that you'd have to focus your energy on changing.
And so if we're in that like kind of mixed bag or on the lower end of the spectrum in connection, because connection is vital for human beings. We
100%.
require love, safety, and belonging. They're basic human needs along with food, shelter, and water. And so if we're in that I feel isolated most of the time or I feel lonely most of the time, what can we do?
Well, listen, I think the first thing we can do is reach out and be that person you want to meet. Okay, so it starts with you, I think. And so if you want to meet new people, you actually become the person you're looking to meet in every way. And then you will start attracting people to you. So like it's meeting people, it's evaluating your home life or your significant partnerships and working through if you don't feel supported, vocalizing that and communicating that. I think if we put ourselves out there and we're more vulnerable, we actually can attract more people from an area that they're willing to help once you show your vulnerability. And we don't like to do that. It's uncomfortable and scary. Whereas the reality is once you do it, you'll have more support than you could probably think about knowing what to do with. So I think it's important.
Okay, so if we're low on the scale of connectedness in our relationships, our job is to look inside ourselves and say, who do I need to be? Who do I need to become in order to be that person for others? Because we get what we put out in the universe. Fantastic. What's the seventh?
The seventh is spirituality. So it's whether you believe in God or you have to believe in something, because that's vital to being human and belonging and all of that. So spirituality is another thing that we need to look at. One is being like, I don't feel there's any greater purpose than me just being here. 10, saying there is a bigger purpose, there is a bigger strategy, there's something more. So regardless of what you believe in, you have to believe in something to feel, again, I think it goes back to belonging and feeling like you matter and that there is a bigger purpose other than for you just to be here.
And so, like, when I think about this, I also think about, like, community, like community service, giving back, any of that kind of philanthropic giving that we've talked about on the show in the past. All of that kind of fits into there, too. It's something greater than just ourselves. And for some people, that purpose might just be their family, and that's okay.
Yes.
And it could be that, or for others, it might be something grander or whatnot, depending. So spirituality on a scale of 1 to 10. So I hear that the action step is for us all to rate these areas, all 7 areas, on a scale of 1 to 10, and whichever one's the lowest, that's the one we're going to take action on today. I would love to go back to the mental fog and clarity one, because I feel like there's more there. If we find ourselves in, for example, brain fog, or like we can't think clearly, or we have a hard time coming up to decisions, which is a commonality.
Yes.
That actually can be rooted in a lot of the others that we discussed. What is our action step there if that's our low spot?
Well, that's difficult for many people. People today could be saying, yes, that is my lowest. What do I do? And so I think that there's a couple steps you need to do. First, make it a priority. Second, I think that you have to look beyond just blood panels and, go get a blood panel. And we're not doctors, of course, at all, but go get a basic blood panel, but do get more of the tests. And the other thing that I think, it's not just your Western practitioner. So I've found help with Eastern too, so naturopathy. But I think it takes like a village of doctors to help all of this. And brain fog is one of those, because oftentimes it's associated with getting in the 40s or perimenopause or any of that. And people just say, well, you're getting old. That's normal.
It's not normal.
It's not normal, but we've been socialized into believing it's normal. And so, first of all, you could go to a doctor, a Western doctor, that doesn't help you. So you do need to expand beyond that, I think, and look at all your resources, which is naturopathy. It's a bunch of functional medicine, integrative medicine. There's a lot of people that do a little bit more. And I do think, like, I've been at times where I'll pull everybody in. I'll pull 100%. And there are times when I think I go a little too far, like I'm a little too zealous about it. And I think you can be a little too zealous about it too. So there's something in the middle that you do. But I do think it just doesn't stop at your Western doctor. But getting a blood panel and doing all that in the beginning is really a great start.
Right, and it's really critical that we have a baseline understanding of where we stand
100%.
medically, and so many people miss that. And we've had experts on the show in early detection and prevention, and really it's about understanding where we are and what can be improved upon, because we may not be having a disease process or have something that's a diagnosis, but we may be on that path, and we can, if we are doing these wellness assessments, if we're going for our annual wellness exam, if we're doing our labs and we have an understanding, what we're able to do is prevent that that from getting worse and actually becoming a disease process. And so I think what you said is very, very valid. Like it's not just one source. It's understanding where we are as a baseline and understanding there's a lot of different resources to you. And you ladies and gentlemen who are watching and listening know we've had plenty of those experts on the show as well. Utilize a team approach, because it really is that integrative approach and that root cause cure that's going to help us to move forward and achieve our peak vitality. So Holly, we are running towards the end of the show, but before we do, I would like to ask you, you are a very, very successful human being. You are healthy, you're doing a lot of things, you're energized. How do you do it while still being, a financial executive and leading the busy life that you are? Because everybody's busy. Maybe we're a mom and we have multiple kids. How do we fit this into our busy life?
I hate to say this because it sounds cliche, but you have to come first and put yourself first. And that sounds insane. Most people don't want to do that. You'll put your kids first. You'll put everybody else before you, your job, all of that. But if you do that, your well runs dry. And so I put myself first, and I actually set my intentions in the morning, and I make sure I set my intentions for a smooth running day. And sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. And then I make choices that are good for me. So whether that's, we go through our 7, I go to sleep on time. And you do it 80% of the time. I eat good food. And then this is the thing that I think I want to say is just know that being health and being optimal and being vital actually is a journey. It never stops. It never stops. And so you always have to be paying attention to your body. So I put myself first. I go through actually our 7 steps, and I say, am I putting myself first there in those 7 steps? And that's what, and then a lot of gratitude. Okay, I have a lot of gratitude. So that's another way to help cultivate relationships is with gratitude.
Fantastic. So putting ourselves first, planning. I heard planning it into our day, whether it's meal prepping, because you shared you meal prep before flights and things. Having a plan so that we can be successful in what it is we want to do with our health. What is that one choice for you? Do your rating systems that Holly suggested, and the one that's the lowest, your action step today is to take action on that. What is one thing you can do? If sleep is your lowest, can I go to bed a little earlier? Is there some kind of a sleep hygiene routine that I can integrate? There's so many things. And so Holly, for our viewers and our listeners, how can they reach out to you to learn more? Or are there any resources you'd like to point them in that could maybe accelerate this process for them?
Well, okay, so first I do have a podcast, and it is Uncorked, and it's on all the platforms. And also you can get a hold of me at hollymoini.com. It's HOLLIMOEINI.com, and send me a message. As far as resources go, you got to look hard, and I always ask people that I respect and get a word referral. That's the best thing to do versus just picking somebody out of Google. So.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for your expertise today. I really appreciate you adding value to my audience.
Thank you for having me, Jen.
Absolutely. And you take action today on that one thing that you saw was maybe a little bit lacking out of the 7 areas of health. Take an action, do a little research, do something a little bit different, because that's the way that we achieve our peak health and vitality. Unfortunately, all things good do come to an end, including this show. But the good news is we'll be here same time, same station next week. But until then, have an amazing rest of your day.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in